Soulful, inspiration, soulful, inspiration, a little education, soulful, inspiration, soulful, inspiration, a little education, you love. Uninspired and tired is a bad combination, and I'm sad to say that's a dark situation, but I'm thinking of you, so I'm glad to say I wrote a letter on behalf of how I feel today. 7 a.m. in the morning, ain't been to sleep. It's been a night type long and a rough type week. I'm meditating my life on the whole, pondering the where, when, how, ifs I can gain control. It's like a spin of the wheel or a roller to die. They say that you can be a winner at the game of life, but I know the house don't play to lose, so you better know the math, how to make the move. See, I'm a student of the study, how to proper pursue a blunt portion of the profits produced, paying my dues, so I follow the naughty and avoid the fools. But this is trial by fire, so you must stay cool. One rule, envy is a powerful tool, spine all times, everything you do. That way, when the idiot's ear get act cool, you can crack those crabs and continue to move. You know, 7 a.m. in the morning, I'm open up. Long night, ain't been to sleep. I grab my pencil and pad, I'm open. I hope you feel me. Remember back to the slenderest times when we bitched for the pretty penny nickel a dime, before the world seemed crooked and the gutter was fine, when it was good hood living and a peace of mind. Now that's over. Life will make a grown man sober, head aching, hanging over, feeling funny inside. We never knew the world worked on a bogus design to keep a brother buried deep, broken down and blind. Better still, man, it's ill when you look to find there's a chance to advance, most heads deny. Like a dream and a slice of the proverbial pie, we will remain to reside in the ghetto of pride. Ignorance is pure bliss, and these days provide plenty of it to keep a poor man pacified. I try to put him on the business of knowledge applied, but that's a pickle of a deal that's sour inside. But 7 a.m. in the morning, I'm open up. Long night, ain't been to sleep. I grab my pencil and pad, I'm open. I hope you feeling me, man. So many guys that I grew with died, resorted to doing crime and turned doing the time. I can hardly better speak to childhood friends and find every exchange features a fella falling the wayside. That's ill, but then it keeps a brother on field mode, mentally locked and loaded, ready to deal with any form of friction you can fathom the feel. In a world that wheels drama and fires at will, it bust from dawn to dusk and aim to kill, cause a lot of souls shook and afraid for real. So instead turn their heads up, tail and chill, in the hopes not to cope, but that's whack. See, you and I are like a different breed, and we bring to the balance such a desperate need. The eagerness to elevate and evolve the scene, a better space, a better time indeed. Sincerely.
Well, good morning to you and welcome back. This is Nathan Ivey Online. Today is March 1st, 2016. Wake up, wake up. It's the first of the month. That's right. It's the first of the month. And it's my pleasure to be with you again. Good morning, good people. Already people are populating the chat room. I put a number of invitations out starting today and throughout the week for newsmakers to join us in the chat room. And I'm telling folks that, you know, we've got a really serious dedicated audience here of folks who are highly intelligent, and I would like for you to get a chance to ask them questions. I love what Spreaker allows us to do in terms of it allows the listeners via text to interact with one another. I do have to give you a heads up. My website is going to take at least another 24 hours. Please give me your patience. I'm an upfront guy. I'm telling you up front. I'm hoping in 24 hours I can share it with you. And it's not just a website. It's a new media platform in the city of Cincinnati that will support my show, and if not even the possibility of many others. All will be revealed as we move forward. All will be revealed as we move forward. But today I'm with you for another fabulous hour of spectacular, superlative flows on people, politics, and pleasure. And they're calling today Super Tuesday. What's so super about it? I'm of the opinion that black people have already lost the election, quite honestly. But I'll tell you more about that as the show gets deeper. I want to say good morning to everybody. I want to say good morning to Jerica. She was first in the chat room this morning. Carlene, Corey, Crutha, Brent, Shauna, Tracy, Edward. What's up, Big Ed? And so William, Pat, and so many others. I really appreciate you. And let's move forward. So many things to discuss. Not only do I want to talk about how I believe that black people have already lost the election, but I also want to talk about what's relevant, what's going on. And also here in the city of Cincinnati, Hamilton County, and the state of Ohio. I believe that the news cycle today in the state of Ohio is going to be dominated by yet another, what could have been even more tragic, school shooting. And I'm not going to call it white on white crime, because if I did, then that would come across as crass and insincere and cynical, right? But what I'm here to tell you is that that's how it comes across when people, the media, label crime that happens in black communities as black on black crime. You know, when I hear black on black crime, what that tells me is you don't really care about the victims. You're trying to racialize it and politicize it and distract from it. Oh, it's not because there's so much guns. It's not because of racism. It's not because of, gentrification. It's not because of any of these things. It's because black folks are just barbaric. However, if you look at the news, there are even more examples that you could call white on white crime, but the media never calls it that. And the reason why is because there is no function in it. It's too cynical. You'll hear no one refer to, whether they're underage or not, you'll hear no one refer to the tragic shooting that happened here recently in the state of Ohio as white on white crime. It's not going to happen. And it's because it's too cynical. What happened? Well, now 4 teenagers are recovering after a shooting at Madison Junior/Senior High School. And apparently a young white male, his name is James Austin Hancock. Okay, that's the name that's being put in the media. And we don't have all the details, but apparently he opened fire on his own classmates. And one can only wonder why. My question to you is, what can realistically be done to prevent and or to address these school shootings that we're seeing so much in our nation? So I want to set the topic with that, and I want to get your thoughts on it. Also, I got a few second thoughts about Chris Rock. I went back and I watched the video because there was just something about it that just stuck with me. And it was entertaining. I give him that. He made his points. I'll give him that. But there are parts about it that I really didn't like. Number one, I didn't like the fact that he went after Will and Jada as if they were the problem. And I think you see a lot of black folks do that in the media when they want to straddle the fence or they want to send a signal to bosses, America, whomever, that they're still down, that they're not radical. And I don't understand why black folks feel like they need to do that. I don't really get that. As if Will and Jada are the problem. You know what I'm saying? And then there was also a moment in his monologue in which Chris Rock talked about how, 50 years ago, black folks were out there because they had real issues. As if the lack of diversity isn't a real issue. And, you see this a lot as well. And what I'm here to tell you is that the issues, the struggle is still real, although it's different. Chris Rock's right. 50 years ago, 40 years ago, people were dealing with stuff that was happening in their neighborhoods, right? They were dealing with more ostensible, right, racism, more overt racism. Okay, well, things are different now. There's been a lot of strides. But now the issue is diversity, being included in the table, right? There's a difference between saying that you can participate and then being allowed to participate. Look at what's been happening here in the city of Cincinnati as it relates to minority contractors. Now, everybody knows that racism is wrong. It's illegal. It's illegal to stop black folks from getting money. Okay, we all agree with that. It's wrong. We've got laws to protect that. It's against our modern day mores and morality, but yet it still happens. But yet it's still going on. So I thought that Chris Rock was a little bit out of line. He was straddling the fence. I get it. Also, an update about Melissa Harris Perry. Have you heard the latest? Now it's coming up that Beyonce is to blame for her departure from MSNBC. That's right. It's Beyonce's fault. Because after the Super Bowl, and this is what's being reported, Melissa Harris Perry wanted to dedicate an entire 1-hour show to discussing the politics the social impact, the societal impact of what Beyonce did at the Super Bowl. And rightly so, because that's what everyone was talking about. So everyone was talking about. I mean, people were still talking about it. And not only were people talking about what Beyonce did at the Super Bowl with the formation video and the dancers dressing up like Black Panther-ettes or, giving some respect to the Black Panther Party during Black History Month, by the way. In a move that's so obvious that I'm thinking, wow, why haven't we seen anybody else, give respect or give a nod to Black History Month during their Super Bowl performances? But I guess it takes a sister to do that. Strike, I want to say it again. I'm going to be honest with you. My observation today is by and large, I'm speaking generally because nothing is absolute, but generally speaking, Black men today are weak as hell, straight up. I done met a lot of Black weak men. On the surface, they seem to be so tough and strong, but deep inside, weak as hell. And, in terms of the national agenda, we still seeing Black women out there on the forefront. Where are the brothers at? You know what I'm saying? Where are the brothers? You got John Legend and Common basically making excuses for racism and what's going on and straddling the fence, but it was Beyonce that took the strides and went out there. Am I saying she's a revolutionary? No, not at all. But it is what it is. So Melissa Harris Perry, I thought that would have been an excellent show topic to approach the impact of what she did. Did it mean anything? Hey, they might have concluded after 60 minutes of conversation that it meant nothing whatsoever. But from what I'm reading, her producers had some issue with it. And the word that I read this morning was she had to fight to even approach this topic. Now, listen, I've seen it firsthand. A bad producer can kill a good show. I've seen it firsthand. Okay, I don't care what you think about it. You can put any name there. Ask me, I'll tell you. A bad producer can kill a good show. I've seen it firsthand. Now, I wouldn't stand for myself. And a good producer can take an average show to the next level. And from my standpoint, Beyonce is a lightning rod. People are talking about her. Younger people are talking about her. And that's the demographic that, some people say they want. So when I read that she had to fight with the producers, from what I'm reading, Melissa Harris Perry wanted to devote 60 minutes to that topic. And, she had to fight with her producers. And in many cases, these folks are talentless who wish they could do what the talent could do. And she had to compromise, and she ended up doing 15 minutes instead. And it was after that it seemed like her show was preempted now by this generic political season programming, which is the most boring thing ever. I'll be honest with you. I don't think I'll ever watch MSNBC. Now, maybe if they bring back Melissa Harris Perry, which it doesn't look like it's going to happen, from what I'm reading and hearing, she is in severance talks. And it looks like she's going to move on. I hope the good folks over at BET or TV1 or CNN or even Fox News. Go to Fox News. Nothing wrong with that. Pick her up so the world can hear her voice. But, people have to understand the power that they have. See, Black folks underplay their vote, and Black folks underplay their power. As a consumer, you have huge power. You have huge power. And it's just been my experience that far too often people just give it away because of what they always do, because of habit, because of, I don't know what it is. Are you a person or are you an animal? Are you people or sheeple? You got to make a decision. You got to make a decision for it. So there's a real power out there in terms of not just your vote, which I want to talk about the March 15th primary. If you find me on the Nathan Ivey Show on Facebook, then I've already posted a link about the Democrat primary here in Ohio. And I want to talk about some of the issues this morning. And I want to talk about some of the whisper campaigns that are out there about some of the candidates as well. You have a real power. You have a real power. And people just give it away. They just give it away, much like their votes. See, the issue with voting in terms of the Black community is not that Black folks vote too much. We don't vote strategically, not in enough numbers. Not in enough numbers. And the same thing as a consumer. You don't have to consume something that don't respect you. You don't have to consume